If you've lived in Indiana long, you've likely had a slice of sugar cream pie. It's often referred to as the unofficial state pie because of its popularity among Hoosiers. Barbara Brozier takes us to a family business that helped introduce the recipe to masses and delves into how the pie became so popular.
A good pie starts with a good crust.
The staff at Wix Pies knows a little something about a good crust.
The flour is automatically dumped into a mixing bowl, about 100 pounds, comes in, and then we add the shortening, and today we're adding lard. That's our shortening of choice, is pure lard.
The company's Winchester production facility cranks out tens of thousands of pies and pie shells in just one day. The weeks leading up to Thanksgiving are its busiest of the year. And the pie that's in highest demand, well, it's no contest.
About 75% of what we sell is sugar cream pie.
The famous Wix sugar cream pie dates back to 1944, when Dwayne Wickersham started his first restaurant in Randolph County. He couldn't find a good pie to serve, so he started baking his own. Many of the recipes he used were his grandmother's, and they became so popular, Dwayne started selling them to other restaurants.
In the 40s, he was making about 20 pies a day. In the late 50s, he was up to 200. And then in 1962, he moved into this facility, put a patent on the old-fashioned sugar cream pie, and we now make around 10,000 pies a day when we do make pies in an 8-hour shift.
Wix pies are now available in almost every region of the country. But the dessert was popular long before it went into mass production.
So the earliest recipe that I know of is an Indiana recipe from 1816, which is the year that the state was founded, that Indiana became a state. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaker or Amish communities who traveled west to settle in Indiana were making some version of this before they came here.
Sugar cream pie gained early popularity because it's what's known as a desperation pie. You could make it year-round because it doesn't require fresh fruit, and the few ingredients needed are things most people already had in their pantries.
The only really consistent ingredient in sugar cream pie is sugar. In addition to sugar, though, there is usually milk or cream, or half and half. It depends. You get vanilla, nutmeg, usually butter and salt, and sometimes flour and cornstarch, or one or the other, to use as a thickening agent.
In the state's early days, pie wasn't necessarily seen as the special occasion treat it is now. You'd often find it on the menu at church gatherings or farms.
You'd get everyone together to help you plow your field, and all the women would get together and make the food. So pie really fits into that because it's something that can feed a lot of people, and you can bake it and it can sit.
It's such a celebrated part of the state's food culture that there's even a special culinary trail dedicated to Indiana pie.
It touches a part of, you know, your stomach as well as the soul in bringing back those memories and making good memories with family and friends.
The Hoosier Pie Trail features 21 stops throughout the state, including Mrs. Wix. Dwayne Wickersham opened this restaurant across the street from his factory when he retired in 1986.
It is the unofficial state pie, and I think he had a big part to play in that, only because he brought it to what I would say the next generation. I think anybody of his age that grew up on a farm in rural Indiana, their mother or grandmother had a sugar cream pie recipe that she made. And so they were home baked, but he commercialized it and brought it to the consumer in the supermarket, and that opened it up for a whole new generation, and we're trying to maintain that, to continue to open that to a new generation.
Oh boy, that looks amazing.
Yes.
Now I see you're a pie maker too. Yeah, you bake all kinds of things. This
do.
looks amazing. Now what's different from this sugar cream pie?
So this is that 1816 version that was
okay.
mentioned in the story. This actually can be found, the recipe, in the Hoosier cookbook, and you can find that cookbook at a lot of libraries throughout Indiana, but it's so treasured you can't check it out most places. You just have to look there. But it's a classic sugar cream pie with sugar, cream, butter. I added a little cinnamon and nutmeg, which you do find in some recipes. So
now is sugar cream pie the official most eaten pie in Indiana for real?
I think
Do we know that?
it really depends on your family, but I did get on Google and analyze some searches from last November and found that pumpkin in Indiana was the most searched pie, then apple, then pecan, and then you got sugar cream. But it is really beloved here in Indiana by a lot of different Hoosiers.
And those folks there at Wix, of course, they're with pie all day. They get sick of it? No,
they don't get sick of it. So the good thing is that they rotate flavors. They make more than just sugar cream pie. And so some days they're making pumpkin, others pecan. So they get a little bit variety. And Mike Wickersham did tell me that every day they make pie, he has at least one slice.
Wow. What a job, huh?
It is quite
Good job
the
if you can get it. Thanks, Barbara.